From the time MCU's Shang-Chi teaser got released, one thing which definitely got stuck in my mind, the Mandarin's 10 rings. I'm a religious follower of MCU movies, but not the Marvel comics, so I would love to know more about these 10 rings before the movie arrives. The movies Infinity War and Endgame had shown us how powerful each of the Infinity Stone was and how ruthless they would become when used together, which includes vanishing half the universe. Are the Mandarin's 10 rings even close to the Infinity Stones? What are their powers and how effective are they when compared to the Infinity Stones? With the information we have both from the movies and the comics, let's find out. Infinity Stones were introduced as individual stones in the comics in different years. First being Soul Gem, or known more as the Soul Stone in Marvel premiere in April 1972. The 10 rings, on the other hand, have made the first appearance even before the Infinity Stones in the year 1964 through the comic Tales of Suspense. There are a total of 6 Infinity Stones. Most of us already know from the movies like Infinity War and Endgame, which includes Mind Stone, Reality Stone, Soul Stone, Power Stone, Space, and the Time Stone. While the Mandarin's 10 rings includes Incandescent or the Flame Blast, Lightning or the Electro Blast, Zero or Ice Blast, Influence or Impact Beam, Spin or the Vortex Beam, Nightbringer or the Black Light, Daimonic or White Light, Remaker or Matter Rearranger, Spectral or Disintegration Beam, and Lyre or Mento Intensifier. While the Mandarin is portrayed as a genius scientist and a skilled martial artist, his primary sources of power, however, are his 10 rings that he adapted from the alien technology of a crashed spaceship. Each ring has a different power and is flown on a specific finger. According to the comics, the powers of the 10 rings of Mandarin are in no way a comparison to the Infinity Stones, but not to be taken lightly. If we go into the details of each of these rings, Mandarin's left hand pinky has Zero or Ice Blast, which freezes the air in its path and can lower an object's temperature to almost absolute zero. His ring finger has the Lyre or Mento Intensifier. It magnifies Mandarin's psychic energy, enabling him to mentally control a person, but only effective at a short range. His middle finger has Lightning or Electroblast. It emits quantities of electrical energy determined by the wearer, that is Mandarin. His index finger has Incandescent or Flame Blast, which allows the Mandarin to project blasts of infrared to produce flame or ignite combustible materials. And his left hand thumb has Daimonic or the White Light. This ring allows the Mandarin to generate and manipulate various forms of electromagnetic energy. The right hand's pinky, Nightbringer or Black Light. It creates area of absolute blackness where all light is absorbed. Ring finger has a Spectral or Disintegration Beam. It destroys bonds between atoms and molecules. Limitation is it needs 20 minutes recharge time between uses. His middle finger has Spin or Vortex Beam. It causes air to swirl about in a vortex at high speed. It can levitate objects, propel the wearer, that is Mandarin, in flight, and can be used as a weapon. His index finger has Influence or Impact Beam. It can cause intense sonic vibrations and create magnetic waves. And finally, his thumb has the Remaker or Matter Rearranger. It can rearrange atoms and molecules of substances or speed up or slow down their movements. Indeed, all of the mentioned rings appear stronger and are powerful, but are quite limited in magnitude and scale when compared to the Infinity Stones. Like the Power Stone, it grants its user unlimited stamina and can increase the user's strength to unlimited levels, and depending on how much the stone is drawn upon. It can also boost other Infinity Stones effects. Reality Stone can affect reality on a universal level. If utilized to its full potential, it can leave the universe as just a dark matter. Mind Stone allows the user to enhance their mental and psionic abilities, access the thoughts and dreams of other beings. It is believed to be the manifestation of universal subconscious, while the Space Stone gives the user power over space. Anyone holding the Space Stone can create a portal from one part of the universe to another. Time Stone, on the other hand, has the ability to manipulate time even in places beyond time, such as the Dark Dimension. It grants its users visions of possible futures and the power to stop and rewind time, as shown in Infinity War. And finally, Soul Stone has the ability to manipulate the soul and essence of a person, control life and death. When backed by the Power Stone, it grants the user control over all life in the universe. It takes immense power and capabilities to hold the Infinity Stones all together. Same is not the case with the Ten Rings. Someone like Mandarin from a human race can handle the Ten Rings easily. We have seen what happened to the Avengers when tried to handle the snap with all the Infinity Stones. Hulk injured his arm badly and the Avengers lost none other than Iron Man. Even Thanos, a mutant member of the race of the Titanian Eternals, injured himself badly while destroying the Infinity Stones in the endgame. A few rings of Mandarin are also too limited, like the Lyre or Mental Intensifier, which is effective only when the opponent is within 1 feet distance. And Spectral or the Disintegration Beam, it needs 20 minutes recharge time between uses. More importantly, the biggest drawback of the Ten Rings is its powers cannot be transferred and will not work to their potential when someone else gets the rings until and unless the Mandarin approves. The Mandarin's main and frequent occurring opponent is Iron Man in the comics. It was very unfortunate and strange how MCU completely ignored this powerful antagonist while Iron Man was all active and alive till Phase 3. Though it appeared that the Mandarin was being introduced as a villain in Iron Man 3 through its teasers and trailers, both the fans and audience were quite disappointed when the movie got released, as it was just an imposter of the Mandarin. MCU has an interesting lineup in the Phase 4, so it needs to be seen how the Mandarin is utilized. Like mentioned earlier, there was no head-to-head battles between Iron Man and the Mandarin in the movies as compared to the comics. However, there are multiple storylines in comics where Mandarin faces Thor and Hulk, who are still active and alive in MCU movies. Since a lot of talk is on the multiverse, there's a lot of scope of the Mandarin facing Iron Man in a different dimension altogether, which if introduced will definitely be a major highlight for MCU in Phase 4. We can come to a conclusion that the Ten Rings are no doubt effective and powerful, but mostly are limited and at a planetary level, while the Infinity Stones' powers are at a universal level. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. Do share your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section.